Chapter 9, Environmental Degradation. Learning Objectives: Human-made environment, depletion and deterioration, depletion of resources, depletion of minerals and energy resources, depletion of forest and wildlife, depletion of soil, depletion of water resources, resource pollution, checking environmental degradation. The word environment refers to the surroundings of organisms in which they live and interact. The Earth is the only planet in the solar system that supports life. You know that life on Earth exists in the narrow zone made up of land, water, and air, extending up to a few kilometers above and below the Earth's surface. This narrow zone is called the biosphere. The environment includes the natural as well as man-made components. The natural components of the environment include physical and biological components. The physical components of the environment include materials such as rocks, soil, water and air, as well as forms of energy such as heat and light. In order to live, all organisms need energy. The total energy in the environment remains constant, but the energy can change from one form to another. The sun is the main source of energy on the earth, although the earth does not receive all the energy radiated by the sun. The incoming solar energy that reaches the earth is called insolation. Only about half the total energy emitted by the sun reaches the earth. The other is either reflected back or absorbed by the atmosphere. Of the total energy, 35% is reflected back to space, 14% is absorbed by atmosphere, and the remaining 51% reaches the Earth's surface. During photosynthesis, green plants use energy from the sun and materials like carbon dioxide and water from the atmosphere to produce food. In this process, solar energy is converted into chemical energy and is stored within plant bodies. This stored energy is passed on to animals that eat plants. These animals in turn pass on energy to those that eat them. Thus, all organisms have some trapped solar energy in their bodies. When plants and animals die, bacteria and other microorganisms feed on their remains. In the process, the remains are decomposed. This releases materials back to the environment for reuse. Thus, the exchange of materials between organisms and the environment follows a cyclic path. The flow of energy from the sun to the earth and from one organism to another, however, is not cyclic, as the energy does not return to the sun. Human-made environment. To meet his endless needs, man alters the natural environment. Sometimes such alterations disturb natural processes and degrade the natural environment. For example, untreated wastes are often dumped into rivers. This affects the health of organisms that live in water and also the organisms who live on land and use this water. Depletion and deterioration. Environmental degradation takes mainly two forms. One is resource depletion, that is a decline in the quantity of resources. The other is resource deterioration or pollution, that is a decline in the quality of resources. Depletion of resources. The main causes of the depletion of resources are overuse and wastage of resources. In developed countries such as the USA, the main cause of the depletion of resources is overuse, while in the developing countries such as India, the cause of the depletion of resources is overuse to meet the needs of large populations as well as wastage due to inferior technology. You know that the natural resources are of two types, non-renewable, such as minerals, and renewable, such as water, soil, forest and wildlife. We cannot prevent the depletion of non-renewable resources because these resources cannot be regenerated once they are exhausted. We can, however, delay the process by conserving them, that is, by controlling their excessive use and wastage. But the renewable resources are also depleted if they are used faster than they can be regenerated. Depletion of minerals and energy resources. Due to industrialization, the use of minerals and energy resources is increasing day by day. The per capita consumption of minerals and energy resources is increasing almost in every country. We depend heavily on minerals as most of the things that we use in daily life are made from minerals. Metals such as iron, copper, and aluminium are obtained from mineral ores. Steel, which is used to make utensils, machines, automobiles, etc., is made from iron. Cement, which is used to make buildings and bridges, is also a mineral product. Minerals, being non-renewable resources, get depleted as they are used up. Some, like the ores of lead and zinc, may get exhausted in a few decades. The consumption of minerals increases with industrialization. For example, the per capita consumption of steel in the USA is 450 kg, while it is about 30 kg in India. You know that the conventional sources of energy, such as coal, mineral oil, and natural gas, are non renewable. Whatever quantity of these resources of energy we use, it is lost forever. It is estimated that at the present rate of consumption of mineral oil, our known reserves will get exhausted in about 50 years, and the same will happen to our coal reserves after a couple of centuries or so if new reserves are not discovered. The consumption of mineral oil and coal is increasing due to rapid industrialization and the development of the modern means of transport. The more industrialized countries consume more energy than the less industrialized countries. In fact, they consume about 80% of the available useful energy, although they account for only about 20% of the world's population. Depletion of forest and wildlife. Presently, forests cover less than one third of the world's land area, but at one time they covered about double the area that they cover today. This depletion of forest is largely a result of demand for land for other purposes such as agriculture and settlements due to increase in world population. Large-scale deforestation has led to the depletion of forests in many areas. Several species of plants have become extinct. Deforestation not only destroys the natural habitat of terrestrial species of wild animals, but also disturbs the balance of gases in the atmosphere, causing global warming. It reduces the rainfall and increases soil erosion. Such changes in the environment, directly or indirectly, harm living organisms. Like deforestation and environmental damage, reckless hunting by humans is also a threat to the world's wildlife. The Indian cheetah, hunted for its hide, is now extinct. Whales have been hunted to near extinction for their meat and fat. According to estimates of the International Union for Conservation of Nature (IUCN), more than 6,000 plant species and more than 5,000 animal species are under the threat of extinction. The extinction of any species can be disastrous for the environment. For example, the extinction of flesh-eating species can lead to a rise in the population of plant-eating species. This can in turn lead to overgrazing, droughts, and soil erosion. Facts: the Indian rhinoceros, hunted for its horn, is now an endangered species. Depletion of soil. The loose material consisting of fine rock particles and organic matter covering the top layer of the Earth's crust is called soil. It supports plants and various other life forms. Soil formation may take a few centuries, while depletion can be caused within a few decades. Deforestation, overgrazing, overcultivation, mining activities, construction of buildings, roads and railway lines, etc. are the main causes of soil depletion. Soil is mainly depleted by erosion, that is, carrying away of the soil by natural agents like flowing water and wind. Plants take soil erosion as they act as a barrier to the flow of water and wind, and their roots bind the soil. Depletion of water resources. We use water for irrigation, industries, generating power, in domestic purposes. As the human population is increasing, more and more water is being used to meet the needs of the growing population and the increasing in agricultural and industrial activities. The groundwater level is sinking because we are pumping out water faster than nature can replace it. The surface water too is getting depleted. River water, for example, is diverted to crop fields, factories and power generation plants in a huge amount. The dams built on the rivers are very useful to us as they control floods, provide water for irrigation and power generation. But they disrupt the natural flow of water and harm the life forms that thrive in flowing water. Besides, the water that collects behind a dam often submerges forests and harms the wildlife habitats and displaces people from their homes. Resource pollution. Technological development has also posed a serious threat to the environment. Pollution means deterioration in quality of land, water and air caused by the presence of undesirable or harmful substances. Substances that cause pollution are called pollutants. It can cause permanent damage to the environment, which cannot be repaired by natural processes. This can harm all organisms that are a part of the environment and can even lead to the extinction of some species. Although pollution can have natural causes, it is mostly caused by human activities. Land pollution. Solid waste dumped on land pose a serious environmental problem. In urban societies, household waste is collected and dumped at the waste dumps. Non-biodegradable waste, such as polythene bags, which cannot be decomposed by natural agents like bacteria, have become a menace to the environment besides being health hazards. The heaps of accumulated garbage, when left open, become breeding grounds for rodents, flies, and mosquitoes, which spread diseases. Bagging garbage does not always help, as it often contaminates the soil and groundwater. The use of fertilizers and pesticides also causes land pollution. Some of these substances are not biodegradable. They accumulate in crops grown on contaminated soil and enter the bodies of organisms that eat the crops. Water pollution. Wastewater from our homes, hospitals and factories is not usually treated before it is discharged into water bodies. Such water contains excreta, disease-causing microorganisms, and harmful chemicals. It makes water unfit for domestic use and may kill aquatic plants and animals. Animal excreta, garbage dumped in the open, and chemical fertilizers and pesticides from crop fields are added to water bodies by rainwater. These harmful substances seeping through soil by rainwater contaminate groundwater. Oil spills from tankers in leaking pipelines also pollute water. On land, spilled oil seeps through soil and pollutes groundwater. On water, it spreads over the surface as an oil slick. Oil slicks endanger human life by blocking sunlight and reducing dissolved oxygen levels. Air pollution. Air pollution is caused mainly by harmful substances emitted into the atmosphere by industries and automobiles. It causes respiratory diseases and affects the skin and the eyes. The ozone layer, which protects us from harmful ultraviolet rays of the sun, is depleted due to the release of certain carbon compounds called chlorofluorocarbon CFCs into the atmosphere. This increases the risk of skin cancer and eye damage in humans. Increase in the carbon dioxide in the air is causing global warming, which can damage the Earth's flora and fauna. A. Answer.